Hi students, hope you all are doing good. Today we have to continue with the second chapter, electric potential and capacitance. Uh, Yesterday I have missed doing numerical exercise 2.1. If you remember, the day before yesterday we started at the end numerical exercise 2.1. Question number 1 we finished. 2 and 3 we were supposed to do yesterday, but I missed it. So let me do it now. Okay. So question number 2, numerical exercise 2.1. Please check. Numerical exercise 2.1, question number 2. Okay, it says two charges 3 into 10 power minus 8 coulomb and minus 2 into 10 to the power minus 8 coulomb are located 15 centimeter apart. So there are two charges. Okay, one is 3 into 10 power minus 8 coulomb. Other one is minus 2 into 10 power minus 8 coulomb, and the separation between them is 15 centimeter apart. Question is, at what point, actually they should say points, not points, at what points on this line the electric potential is zero. Electric potential is zero. They are asking you to take potential at infinity as zero. Already we know infinity has been chosen as reference of potential. That means at potential at infinity your potential is zero. So question is, at what points here along this line, at what points will the potential be zero, they are asking. If you remember electric field, I told you electric field will be zero near the weaker charge. So if you just look the magnitude, this is 3, this is 2, right? So this is weaker. So I told you electric field will be zero near to this weaker charge. Question is here or here? Yes or no? Will it be zero here? Let us check. Due to this electric field will be away from positive charge. Let me show you. At some point here, electric field due to positive charge will be away from positive charge. Electric field due to negative charge will be towards negative charge. So these two electric fields are in same direction. Therefore, here it cannot be zero. Here if you check, at some point here, electric field due to positive charge will be away from positive charge. Electric field due to negative charge will be towards negative charge. So somewhere here electric field can be zero. Right? Okay. But remember, potential they are asking. Electric field we have finished already. They are asking at which point potential will be zero. Okay, at which point, actually points, it will be plural. Okay, at which points potential is zero, they are asking. Now potential is not a vector quantity, so you should not show direction for potential. You should just calculate the potential due to each charge and then you should do algebraic addition. So let us check where potential will be zero. Again, potential will be zero near the weaker charge all the time. Okay, so let us say this is the weaker charge, so either it will be zero here or it can be zero here also. So there will be 2 points where potential can be zero. Always it will be near the weaker charge, but now it can be either here or it can be here. Okay, so let us measure the distance of these 2 points where potential is zero from this charge, because that they have not mentioned. See, when they say find the point, we have to give the distance of the point from which charge, that they should mention in the question. They have not mentioned, so we will measure it from any charge we want. So let us measure it from this charge. So let us say this point is at a distance xa and this point is at a distance. Let us do this point later. First we will find this point. Okay, fine. So let us say let A be the point, let A be the point where potential is zero. Okay, now who will produce potential at this point? This is your one source charge, this is your another source charge. So if I call this charge Q1 and this charge Q2, Then potential at A due to Q1, let us say is V1. Potential at A due to Q2, let us say is V2. Then the total should be 0 according to the question. Total potential at this, sorry, these are charges, okay? These two are charges. This is the point where I am saying potential is 0. But potential is produced by source charge, just like electric field. Only difference is in electric field you should draw directions also. In case of potential, very easy, just calculate potential due to a point charge. By the way, I hope all of you remember the formula. If there is a point charge q at a distance r, what was the potential? V at this point, what was the potential? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r, right? It's not visible, right? Okay. So it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r. R is the distance of the source charge to the point where we want potential this time, not electric field. Okay, students? Fine. So this formula you should remember all the time. Now, what is V1 I told? V1 is potential due to this Q1 charge. So what will be the formula? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 divided by distance between Q1 and point, that I have written XA. Correct na? Okay. Other one will be plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Charge of the other one I wrote Q2 divided by distance between Q2 and point. Now this is 15. Understand this carefully. This is 15, this is XA. So what will be this distance? This will be 15 minus XA. Okay, in centimeter it will be. So 15 minus XA. I hope all of you understood. Whatever we write here is R, no? But what is R, students? Distance between the source charge and the point. This is your Q2, okay? So this is, let me write it here, otherwise you will get confused. So this is Q2 and this is Q1. These are the charges which they gave in the question. So this point represents charge Q1, this point represents charge Q2. This is the observation point where they want potential to be 0. Correct? No? Okay. Now, how can these two add and give 0? Only if this is negative. Na? If both are positive, if both are negative, how can it be 0? 2 plus 3 cannot be 0. Yes or no? So if one is positive, other must be negative. Then only when you add, you can get 0. Now, if you take, let us substitute the value. Let us not substitute value of this, okay? Because it will cancel. Q1 is how much? 3 into 10 power minus 8 divided by XA plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q2. What is the value of charge Q2? Minus 2 into 10 power minus 8 coulomb divided by 15 minus XA equal to 0. Okay. Now if you take this one that side, see what will happen. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 3 into 10 power minus 8 divided by XA equals, this will go that side, plus minus will be minus, no, this will become minus now, right? Next step you can write minus here, or directly also you can write minus because Q2 is negative. Then you take it that side. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2 into 10 power minus 8 divided by 15 minus XA. Okay, sorry again. So now you can cancel this and this. 10 power minus 8, 10 power minus 8. Correct? Huh? Okay. So let us see what you will get. Let me do it here. So if you cross multiply, here you will get 2 into XA equals to, here you will get 3 into 15 will be 45, 3 into XA minus 3 into XA. Okay, then you bring minus 3XA this side. 5 into XA equal to 45. So XA will be 45 divided by 5. So it will be 9 centimeter because this number was in centimeter, remember. So therefore this also will come in centimeter. So this is the first answer. So at which point potential is 0? 9 centimeter from this charge. What if they ask from this charge? It will be 15 minus 9 centimeter. Yes or no? So you can either give the answer from this charge or you can give from this charge. Now when this question came in one of the board exams, one of my student, she thought they are asking to find wherever potential is 0. So she found the answer and stopped. But she did not get full marks. Why, students? Because there will be another point where potential will be 0. Somewhere here I told in the beginning, right? So that we will do now. So first you make a note of this. If you have done this, then let me now write the second point. Let me remove these distances now. Okay. So now I am saying the second point where potential can be 0 will be near the weaker charge, but it can be this side also. So let us say this point is B. Again, let us measure this distance from Q1. This is XB. Then what will be this, students? Be careful now. This will be XB minus 15. Okay, before it was 15 minus XA. Now it will be XB minus 15. This is 15. Nah? 15 is the separation between the charges. Okay, fine. Now what I will say, let B be the point. Okay, so now second part we have to do. Let B be the point where potential is 0. Then this is potential due to Q1. This is potential due to Q2. That should be 0. This will be same, except I should write here XB. Because here I should write what? Distance between source charge and point. Source charge and point, XB. And here I should write, tell me what I should write? Distance between second source charge and point. How much it is? XB minus 15. Correct now? So then you can substitute the value. This will be XB. Let me do it here itself. Right? It will be easy to for me to explain. For you also will be easy to understand, right? Okay. Then you can take it that side. Same thing will cancel. This will be XB. This will be XB minus 15. XB minus 15. Okay, fine. Now you cross multiply like before. So if you cross multiply this, you will get 2 into XB equals, here you will get 3 into XB minus 3 into 15 minus 45. Nah, okay. 3 into 15 will be 45. Then you bring 45 this side and 2XB that side. So it will be XB. So this is your answer. So XB will be how much? 45 centimeter. So it is 0 again at which point? B. How far? 45 centimeter from this charge. That means if this is 45, how much it will be from this charge? See, this much we have calculated 45. So this much will be 45 minus 15, which is 30 centimeter. Which is 30 centimeter, right? So we have found the distance from this charge. You can also find from this charge as your homework and check the answer should match with this also. Okay, students? Fine. Now let us go for the third question. So let us see third question now. It says calculate the electric potential at the center of a square. Electric potential at the center of a square of side root 2 meter. Having charges, they have given you 4 charges. So let us write. Okay, let's draw the diagram. So question number 3. There is a square. And the side of the square is root 2 meter. Okay, they have given you 4 charges at the corners. Okay, here 100 microcoulomb, here minus 50 microcoulomb. You can put it wherever you want, answer will come same. And here it is 20 microcoulomb, and here it is minus 60 microcoulomb. So these are the 4 charges at the corners of the square. They want potential. Whenever you want potential or electric field, you should always ask at which point you want. That point is called observation point. So here they said at the center. So let us call this point P. So P is observation point. Observation point. If I call this charge Q1, let us start from the beginning. No? Here Q1, let us write here Q2, here Q3, and here let us write Q4. Then we will need, while calculating the potential, what distance we will need? Distance between source charge and observation point. Now look carefully. This distance will be same as this distance, this distance, this distance. All will be same. So let us call this distance R from here to here. Okay, now look carefully. R will be half of this diagonal. Yes or no? Everybody will accept R is half this R, which is distance between charge and observation point. That R is half of diagonal. Now diagonal distance, how to find? Pythagoras theorem you can use. Root over this square, which is root 2 square, plus this square. There is also root 2 because it is a square. Root 2 square. Okay, so R will be half of this. So R will be equal to 1 by 2. Sorry again. And this will be 2, right? Root 2 square will be 2. Root 2 square will be 2. 2 plus 2 will be 4. Square root of 4 will be 2. So this is 1 meter. So R is 1 meter. Okay, I hope all of you understood. So we will need, while calculating potential, as you know the formula for potential due to point charge, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. Don't write R square. That is for electric field magnitude. So R is distance between source charge and point, which is half of this diagonal. So diagonal you first find using Pythagoras theorem. Root 2 square is 2. Root 2 square is 2. Then 2 plus 2 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. Half of 2 will be 1 meter. Okay, fine. So once we have understood this, what will be the potential at P? Potential at P, V, let us write, will be equal to 4 charges are there, remember. So it will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Let me write common. Okay. Q1 by R plus Q2 by R plus Q3 by R plus Q4 by R. So this is how we calculate potential due to multiple charges. Now this value is 9 into 10 power 9. Q1 is 100 microcoulomb. So I can write 100 right now. Microcoulomb I will write, don't worry. Divided by R. R is 1. Plus Q2 is minus 50. If it is minus, you have to write minus. So minus 50 divided by 1. Plus third charge is 20. Plus 20 divided by R is 1. And Q4 is minus 60. Minus 60 divided by 1. Yes. Now we have to write the microcoulomb. All these charges are microcoulomb. So 10 to the power minus 6 will come here. 10 to the power minus 6 will come here also, here also, here also. So I can write 10 to the power minus 6 common outside. Understood? Okay. So next will be 9 into 10 to the power 9, 10 to the power minus 6. I can write 10 to the power 3. And this will be how much? 100 minus 50 plus 20 minus 60. Correct, students? Okay. So 100 minus 50, 50. 50 plus 20, 70. 70 minus 60, 10. So this will be equals to 9 into 10 power. This will be 10. 10 into 10 power 3 will be 10 power 4. Answer is volt. So 9 into 10 power 4 volt. Okay. You cannot capital V, but then sometimes some gadas will be there who will cut that V and this V. Okay. That you should not do. This is potential. This is unit of potential. So you should never cancel such things. So this is a very simple question. I hope all of you understood. Okay. So this is what we were supposed to do last class. Okay. Now we will continue with today's concepts. So if you remember last class, I derived a relation between electric field and potential. Electric field and potential. We did it for a simple case. And it was, what formula was it, if you all remember? It was E equals to minus dV by dx. E equals to minus dV by dx. So this was the formula we derived. E equal to minus dV by dx. So what we did, if you remember, we took two equipotential surfaces like this. One surface like this, one surface like this. then this distance was taken as dx. Then if surfaces are plane, electric field will be uniform like this, right? So the relation between electric field, and when you go from here to here, potential should decrease, because electric field will be always from higher potential to lower potential. This one I wrote V minus dV, where dV was a positive number, remember. Okay. So as you go along electric field, potential will decrease, and this dx was measured in this direction. Okay, students. Okay. Now, today I will be doing one entrance topic, because we have to do some entrance corner questions. So, what I want to discuss now is ulta of this. Ulta of this means how to find V, which is potential, if I know electric field. This is if you know potential, you can find electric field. One exercise also I did, and one homework also I give. Some of you have done it already. You messaged me. Very good. So if I give you potential as, let's say, 2x square, you can easily find electric field by taking the differentiation. Ulta I want to do. If I give you electric field 2x square, how will you find potential? So that we will discuss now. Okay. So to understand this, which is for your entrance actually, so look carefully. Let us go back and remember, I gave you one formula for potential difference between 2 points. Potential difference between 2 points I wrote, if you remember, work done by an external force to move a charge Q from A to B divided by the charge Q. This is the charge which I am moving from A to B. If you cross multiply, you will get work done by external force to move this charge from A to B. So please remember this result again and again. I don't want to derive, students. Okay. Now this is work done by external force. What if I want to write work done in terms of electrostatic force? When you move the charge against the electric field, you are doing some work. Electric field is also doing opposite work. So you can also write the same formula this way: minus work done from A to B by electric field, not by external force. It's like gravity. So gravity is acting downwards. When I move this mobile phone from here to here, I do some amount of positive work. Against gravity I am moving. No. So gravity that time will do negative work. That's why total work done is 0. Total work done has to be 0 because you are moving the body slowly. Divided by Q. Okay. Now work done by electric field. How do you write work done? Integral force of electric field dot displacement, small displacement, divided by Q from A to B. This, all of you know this from first PU, right? Usually, how do you write work done? Force dot displacement. But this is only true if force vector is constant. If force is variable, then please check your work energy theorem. Sorry, please check your work done by variable force concept in the chapter work energy power. Then we write work done as integral force dot small displacement. dr bar represents a small displacement. Okay, students. So this is something you should know. If you don't know, again and again I'm saying all the time, if you don't know, you must know. Let me know in the comment section. I will make a separate video on this concept and share with all of you. So we know that this is work done by electric field, or you can say electrostatic force, because electrostatic force comes through electric field, we know already, right? So this is, this E here I wrote to remind you, this is electrostatic force, not external force. Okay, fine. Now I want all of you to answer this question. What will be this ratio? How many of you remember what is this ratio? This is nothing but your electric field, force per unit charge. So in terms of electric field, how can I write potential difference between 2 points? Minus integral, this ratio I can write electric field dot dr from A to B. Okay, students. So this is something very, very important. Again, this is are for your entrance concepts. For board syllabus, whatever I did is enough. Now, suppose you don't want this is potential difference. Okay, let us mention here potential difference. Suppose you don't want potential difference and you want potential itself. You want potential at, let's say, some point P. Then how you should write potential at some point P? Then I told you in that case you have to start from reference. So if I start from reference, which is where infinity, then how will this formula be? So let me come from infinity to this point P. So from infinity to P, if I come, this will be Vp minus potential at infinity will be 0. Forget about that. So this will be minus integral infinity to P E bar dot small displacement bar. Okay, students. So this is something very important. Remember it. Okay. So you must write down these things. Okay. So let me write it here on top once nicely. Potential at any point can be written in terms of electric field. See, in board syllabus we wrote E in terms of V as E equal to how we wrote minus dV by dx. But how you want to write V? You want to write now potential. So potential will be minus integral E dot dr from infinity to some point P. Wherever you want potential, up to that point you have to come. Okay, students, fine. And potential difference is this. Okay, if you want, that depends whether you want potential or you want potential difference. Now look carefully. Sometimes your life will be simple if the electric field is constant. So if electric field is constant, this is very important, then how can I write potential difference? Okay, VB minus VA. What it was again, let us go back and remember. It was minus integral E dot dr from A to B. Right, now if electric field is constant, then in that case see what will happen. Electric field I can take outside. Then what will be left? Integral of dr bar from A to B. A and B are 2 points in the electric field. Now what is this small displacement? So let us say this is A and some, let us say some point B here. Then this dr bar represents a small displacement. If you integrate small displacement from A to B, what will you get? Total displacement. And total displacement will be this. Right? Let us write that displacement as d bar. Okay, d bar. Then I can now write potential difference between 2 points equals to minus E bar dot d bar, because this is your total displacement. Integration of small displacement will give you total displacement. Okay, students. Now sometimes this minus sign will create some confusion for you. Should there be a minus sign? Should I put minus sign or not? So some confusion will come later when we solve problems. You will see. So for very simplicity, this is the way I usually do. Okay, so what I do is this. I write this quantity is what? Potential difference. So let me write this as delta V and I'll put modulus. So I will not care about the minus sign. I will tell you the trick of finding whether it will be negative or positive, that you don't worry. But I'll write modulus, and then I don't care about whether this minus is there or not, because I am writing modulus. Modulus of negative number will be positive number. So directly I'll write E bar dot displacement bar. And if you remember carefully, what is A bar dot D bar? E magnitude, displacement magnitude, cos of theta. So theta here is, imagine your electric field is this way. It has to be constant, no? So uniform electric field. Then theta means this angle. So this would be the magnitude of the potential difference without taking care of minus sign. Minus sign you can easily decide. For example, in this question, in this diagram, you only tell me quickly, okay? VA minus VB. or VB minus VA. Should it be positive or negative? This is positive or this is positive? Decide. You know that if one is positive, other should be negative, right? Yes or no? 5 minus 2 is 3. 2 minus 5 is minus 3. So if you do ulta, one of them will become negative. So can you decide from this diagram whether this difference should be positive or negative? Quickly decide. How will you decide? What did I tell you? Electric field is from where to where? From higher potential to lower potential. See my direction of electric field. This way it is going. So it is very clear this potential should be higher than this potential. Because first as I go like this, first I will touch A, no? Then I will touch B. Understanding or not? So this will be positive and this will be negative. So sign I can easily find by knowing the direction of electric field and where those points are. So sign I can find easily. Magnitude without the sign, how will I find? This formula you remember. And forget about this minus sign, is there or not there, that is not important. Okay, just remember how to find the sign and then remember how to find the magnitude without the sign. Okay, students. Again, students, this formula is only true when electric field is constant. And theta is, don't forget, angle between the electric field and the displacement. And what does this displacement mean? From your initial point to your final point. Whenever people will ask potential difference, they are asking between 2 points. So this D vector is from initial point to final point. Okay, forget about the path. It may be going this way also, it doesn't matter. Even if you are moving this way, I don't care, because displacement will be this, no students? Yes or no, students? If you add this vector, this vector, this vector, this vector, this vector, this vector, you will get this vector only. Which law is that? Tell me which law is that? If I add these small vectors, this vector, this vector, this vector, if I add, then why should this be the resultant vector? Why? Which law it is? Polygon law of adding vectors. Which law? Polygon law. Okay, so forget about all these details. Just see the points and then draw a vector. That will be your displacement vector. Okay, students. So keep this in mind. We will now start solving the entrance corner. We will start now entrance corner 2.1, question number 1. All questions are very good, so please concentrate properly. Let us see the first question. Question number 1. A charge q, small q, is moved from point A to another point B such that both the points lie on a circle, the center of which has a charge capital Q. So there is a circle. At the center of the circle, there is a charge capital Q. Okay, a charge small q is moved from one point A to another point B, and those points are on the circle itself. Okay, so a charge small q, students, is taken from one point to another point. Okay, whether it is in this circle or this path or this path, the path is not important. I'll let you know now why. So question is, what is the work done? So they are asking work done by electrostatic force in this case. So go back and think, what should be the answer? Can you tell me? Work done to move this Q from A to B. What was the answer? Q into VB minus VA. Since it is by electric field, I should put a minus sign. Yes or no? Even if you don't put minus sign, by external force, if they say, you have to keep it plus by external force. But by electric field, if they say, you have to put minus sign. In the beginning also I explained. Now look here. This point and this point are at same distance from the source charge. Right? That means potential at A will be how much due to this charge. This is your not source charge. Okay, this is the one which we are moving. This Q is the charge which is moved. And when will you do work? If you are moving something, when will you do work? To move it slowly, when will you do work? If there is already some source charge. Because you need to feel, like in the case of earth, let's say there is earth. So when you move the duster, you are moving the duster against the force of gravity. So that time you are doing some work. So when you go from this point to this point, both the points are on this circle. Which is the source charge? This capital Q. Yes or no? Now look carefully. This point is at what potential? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught source charge divided by distance from source charge and point. Similarly, that what will be potential at this point? Tell me students, it will be same only because this Q is same, this distance is same. So if both are same, what will be the work done? Work done from A to B will be 0 because these two are same because you are moving in a circle. Meaning the initial point and the final point lie on a circle. That is one way of understanding. Another way of understanding is for a point charge, what kind of equipotential surface you get? Spherical. So this is actually equipotential surface, or you can say equipotential circle. This equipotential surface. So at any 2 points, if you choose on this line or on this surface, if I think a sphere, then these 2 points will be at what potential? From the definition of equipotential, those 2 points will be at same potential. And if the potential here and here are same, then work done must be 0. Okay students, a very simple question. Let us now see question number 2. A point negative charge is kept at point O. A point negative charge, listen carefully. So there is a point O and here they are keeping a negative charge. So let us say minus Q. As we move away from the charge radially, as we move away from the charge radially means either this way or this way or this way or this way, your wish, or this way. Radially means like this, okay, along the radius of this sphere you think. So as you move away, they are asking what happens to potential, increases, decreases. Already we have discussed potential due to negative charge. How will you write? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught minus Q by R. When you move away, R increases. So you may think this will decrease because it is inversely proportional. Please understand there is a minus sign. So minus decreasing number is actually increasing number. Understood? So when R will increase, I know this will decrease. But minus decreasing means actually increasing. Minus 2 is greater than minus 5. Already we have understood. So potential will increase. So right option is A. Third question. In a uniform if a uniform electric field is along x-axis, uniform electric field is along x-axis. So let us say this is x-axis. Then how is the electric field? Uniform along x-axis. So these are your electric field lines. So the question they are asking is then the equipotential surface must be in which plane? What is the relation between equipotential surface and electric field lines? They are always perpendicular. So if this is electric field lines, uniform electric field lines, your equipotential surface must be like this, perpendicular. So it will be which plane? If this is x, this will be y, this will be z. Yes or no students? So the plane will be your YZ plane. Which plane? YZ plane. Which is the right answer? YZ plane is option B. Okay. So let us now, that means all these points will be at same potential. Understood or not? They are perpendicular to the field lines. So just remember, equipotential surfaces are perpendicular to electric field lines. So if electric field is along x-axis uniformly, then your equipotential surface will be xy plane, sorry, yz plane, because it should be perpendicular. Let us now see question number 4. Very nice and interesting question. Concentrate. In a uniform electric field, E is equals to 10 Newton per Coulomb. So electric field is 10 Newton per Coulomb and it is constant. Uniform, okay, as shown in the figure. So there is a uniform electric field like this, okay. Now they are asking in the options potential difference. You can see VA minus VB they want. every option they want VA minus VB or VB minus VC they want. And in the diagram they have shown you one triangle like this, one equilateral triangle they have shown like this. Okay, and the side of the triangle is 2 meter, and points are A, B, C. Okay students, so let us answer this question. First they want VA minus VB. So first part is between which points we have to find? A and B. A and B. So again, minus sign may be there, minus sign may not be there. Okay, so I will not think too much right now. Right now I will just calculate the difference in magnitude. Since electric field is constant, what is the formula to find potential difference? While teaching entrance concept, I told you E displacement between A and B, because you are going from A to B na, or B to A. Right now I don't care. So this displacement into cos theta. What is cos theta? Angle between this vector and this vector. Now look carefully. E value is how much? 10. This is how much? This is also 2 meter. This is the displacement magnitude. Theta is angle between electric field and this displacement. So electric field is here, displacement is here, remember, not here. Be careful, okay students, electric field is here, but for these 2 points A and B, this is the displacement. So your angle is 60 degree, because electric field is here, no, displacement is here. Understood? So it will be 60 degree. So I have to write cos 60 degree. If you are thinking, no sir, it should be 120 degree, I don't care, I wrote modulus here. Cos 120 will be same as cos 60. Value will be same. One will be minus half, I know ma. Cos 120 is minus half, I know. But I am writing modulus, no. So why are you worried about that? So forget about the sign right now. So this is half. 2 and 2 will cancel. Answer is 10 volt. So difference we found between these 2 points. What difference? Potential difference. Now let us check what they want. VA minus VB or VB minus VA. They want VA minus VB. So number difference is 10, I know. Question is, should I write plus or minus? Should I write plus or minus? That I told you how to decide. Sign you can easily decide. Look here. Electric field is always from higher potential to lower potential. So first I touch point B, then I touch point A. If I go like this, see, along electric field if I go. So this must be at higher potential than this. That means VB is actually greater than VA. So this should be negative. Understood students? So this way if you do, you will never do mistake about the sign. Okay, if you remember that integration minus sign, no, it will create confusion. Which displacement to take, all those confusion we don't want. So just write modulus and find the potential difference first. And how to find the potential difference? Very simple. If electric field is constant, we know E into displacement from those two, between those 2 points, and cos theta. Theta is angle between electric field and the displacement. Okay students? Okay. Now let us see between which points they said. Let me see the question. They said between B and C. So between B and C. So now I should write displacement between B and C. So let us see what will be the answer. E will be 10. Displacement from B to C, you see it is how much? B to C, if you draw a vector like this, is 2 meter only. And what will be theta this time? Displacement is this way. No, you are asking potential difference between 2 points, and it is in the line of electric field. See, correct? No, so what will be the angle? 0. So it will be 1, because displacement is here, electric field is also here. So this will be 20 volt. So once you know the difference, potential difference, now see what they want. VB minus VC or VC minus VB. They want VB minus VC. Now tell me, electric field is from higher potential to lower potential. So VB must be greater than VC also. So this must be positive. So it will be plus 20. Okay students. So the first one is minus 10. Second one is plus 20. Minus 10 plus 20 volt. Which is the right option? Option A. Let us now see question number 5. Let us now see question number 5. If the field of magnitude E equals to 100 volt per meter, so electric field is given 100 volt per meter. Since it is just a number, it is a constant. Okay, and if you see the diagram, they have shown you x-axis here, y-axis here, and electric field is not along x-axis this time. It is at an angle 30 degree. Since it is uniform, how will you draw? Equidistant parallel lines like this. No, this is 30 degree. Okay. Now they want potential difference between A and B. In the diagram, students, they have shown A and B at some wrong points. Okay. So A is somewhere here, not here. Okay. They have shown here A. That is not the case. Okay. You have to change it slightly. A is somewhere here, B is somewhere here. Let me draw A even closer. So A is somewhere here, B is somewhere here. How do I know this? Is because in the question they told OA distance, this distance is given as 2 meter, and OB distance is given as 4 meter. OB distance is given as 4 meter. OA is 2 meter, OB is 4 meter, correct. We have to find potential difference between A and B. Okay. Now, since electric field is constant, we can write directly potential difference equals to E D between which points A and B. So it will be D between A and B cos theta. But look here, E is this way. This displacement will be this one, this one. So we don't know this angle, right? We want angle between this D and this E, which we have no idea. This angle we have no idea. Don't say 30 degree. 30 degrees angle between electric field and x-axis. So directly it is difficult to find using this formula potential difference between A and B. Why? Because we don't know this distance also. We know this distance, we know this distance. This is 2, this is 4. So yes, we can find this distance. But this angle also we will need. Angle between this displacement and this electric field, these black lines. So we need angle between these black lines and this displacement. Right? Theta was angle between these two now. So instead of doing this way, let us use one trick. Look carefully, very interesting it is. Let us find potential difference between A and O. Between A and O. First we will find potential difference between A and O. So delta V magnitude modulus. What is the formula? E distance between A and O cos of angle. E is 100. Distance between A and O. This is A and O, which they have given 2 meter. And theta is angle between this displacement D and O and this electric field. So this distance is along x-axis, right? Right. And this is 30 degree. Electric field is here, na? So this theta will be 30 degree. So cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So it will be 100 root 3. That is the potential difference between A and O. Now, which will be at higher potential, A or O? See, electric field is going like this. If it was going like this, then it is easy to decide. But even if it is going like this, see, which one I will touch first, A or O? See, imagine I am coming like this. So first I will touch A, then I will touch O. That means electric field will always be from where to where? Higher potential to lower potential. So A will be at higher potential. So this difference is VA minus VO is 100 root 3 volt. So this I found between A and O. Let us now do, let me rub this part. Let us now do between O and B. O and B. So look carefully. How will I write this potential difference? E distance between O and B cos of theta. Right, students, formula again. E is how much? 100. distance between O and B is OB, which is 4. Cos of, what is the angle between this OB and this electric field? This will be the angle, and that will be 60 because this is 30 degree, right? So I have to write here 60 degree. Cos 60 will be how much? Directly I can write half. So that will be 2 2s are 4, so I will get 200 volt. Now my question is, this is potential difference between O and B. No, value is this much. Now whether which one is higher potential? Again go like this. Which one will you touch first? See carefully. O I am touching, then I am touching B. Yes or no? Like this you see. Electric field is going this way, na? So first it will touch O, then it will touch B. So if you go this way, right? If you imagine a plane, equipotential surface will look like this, na? Yes or no, students? Like this. So you can see, as you go along electric field, this surface will be first touching this, then it will touch this. So O will be at higher potential. So this will be VO minus VB. That will be 200 volt. Okay, students? Fine. Okay, not visible, right? So I have come to know O is at higher potential. So once I know all this, question was to find potential difference between A and B. So let us check. So let us write whatever we got. VA minus VO, we got 100 root 3 volt. VO minus VB, I got 200. Yes or no? Okay. So let us subtract. Let us say is equation 1. This is equation 2. So equation 2 minus equation 1. If you do, what will you get? Equation 2 is this, minus this. So it will be VO minus VB minus VA plus VO. And here it will be 200 minus 100 root 3. Okay. So you can see VO will cancel. Did I do correctly? VO minus VB minus, this was VA minus VO, right? Here I wrote VO minus VB. So let us not subtract, let us add. If you, because then it will not cancel. No, if you add, see what will you get? VO minus VB plus VA minus VO. So you have to add, okay? So then this will become plus here, right? Okay. So then you see VO minus VO will cancel. And what is this, students? VA minus VB. This is what they were asking, potential difference between A and B. That will be, if I take 100 common, it will be 2 plus root 3 volt. Okay, so what is the right option? Potential difference between A and B, 100 root 3 plus 2 volt, option B. Okay, let us now see question number 6. The electric this one we have done already. They have given you potential as a function of distance. You have to find electric field at x equals to 2 meters. So yesterday's video you see, you will be able to answer easily. Question number 7 you see. Figure shows lines of constant potential. Lines of constant potential means equipotential lines. What lines? Equipotential lines. Meaning at every point on that line, potentials are equal. Figure shows lines of constant potential in a region in which an electric field is present. The values of the potentials are written in bracket. Out of the points A, B and C, which will be of greatest electric field? So if you look at the diagram, a very simple question. Let me solve it here itself. Question number 7 if you see. So your curves look something like this, okay? Like this, okay? Something like this it looks. Exactly, I'm not showing. So here is your C, here is B, and here is A. So they are asking at which point electric field will be strongest, electric field intensity will be largest. Already if you remember the previous video, I told wherever the equipotential surfaces or equipotential lines are crowded, their electric field will be strong. This is very clear if you look the diagram in the EPL or my diagram also. If you see carefully, you can see here the lines are very crowded. So here put electric field at B at this point will be largest. So you should tick the option which says at B electric field is largest, which is option B itself. Let us see question number 8. Before that, let me rub the whatever I have done so that some space we will get. So question number 8 is again based on whether you have the idea that electric field lines are perpendicular to equipotential surfaces. So look the question. A uniform electric field exists along positive x-axis. A small circle is drawn with the center at the origin. So question number 8, this is your x axis, this is your y axis, and they have drawn a circle with center as the origin. This point is A, this point is B, this point is C, this point is D. Out of the points on the periphery means perimeter, at which point potential is minimum they are asking. Where potential is minimum they are asking. Very simple question, students, because they have already told electric field is directed along x-axis. So electric field is along x-axis like this, uniform electric field. So electric field is from where to where? Higher potential to lower potential. So if you go like this, which will be the last, which point I will touch last? A, no? So potential at A is minimum. Where it will be maximum? At C. At C potential is maximum. Because first I will touch C, right? Because equipotential surface you have to draw perpendicular to electric field lines. Equipotential surface. So as you move along the electric field, first you will touch C, then you will touch B and D, then you will touch A. So from higher potential to lower potential. So maximum potential, minimum potential. What about B and D? B and D will be at same potential. Yes or no? See, if you draw a line between these two, that line will be at 90 degree with electric field. So if you remember the formula which I told you, potential difference. E, distance between 2 points, here it is B and D, cos of what will come? 90 will come. Why 90? Why 90? Because this is your displacement. For B and D, this is your displacement. This is your electric field. So angle is 90 means this will be 0. Potential difference will be 0 between these two. That means potential of B and D should be equal. Otherwise, just remember, you walk along electric field. First you will touch C, then you will touch B and D together. That means B and D will be at same potential, but neither minimum nor maximum. Okay. So 8 was an interesting but simple question. Let us see question number 9 now. Equipotentials at a great distance from a collection of regions whose total sum is not zero are approximately what? Equipotentials they are asking, equipotential surfaces at great distance. At what distance? Great distance means large distance. From a collection of charges whose total potential is not zero. Whose total sum is not zero. So imagine there is some collection of charge. There's a plus q, minus q, plus 2q, minus 3q, plus 9q, something you imagine. So total charge is not zero, they are saying. There is some charge. Now, if you are very far, they are asking, how will the surface look like, they are asking. Simple question. If you are very far, this will look like a what charge? Point charge. And if it is point charge, it will look spherical. It will look spherical. Okay. Near here, near to this, I cannot tell you. It can be any kind of shape it can have. Remember when we did for electric dipole also, it was having different kind of shape. Remember or not, plus q when we did plus q minus q. Okay, here it was total sum is 0. When we did plus q, if you remember, it was something like this. You check the diagram. So it is not spherical. So near the charge it is not. But when you go very far, they told no. If you are very far, any kind of distribution will look like a point charge. So the surfaces will look like, the equipotential surfaces will look like the ones provided by point charge. And how does point charge, what kind of surfaces, equipotential surfaces point charge produces? What kind of equipotential surfaces point charge produces? We already know spherical. So answer is spherical. Let us see now question number 10. For a uniform electric field shown in the figure, electric potential is same for which points? Okay, so they have shown you a uniform electric field like this. Here is A, here is B, and here is C. So for which points potential is same, they are saying. Already you know, if you walk along electric field, potential should decrease. So which one will you touch first? A. So A will be at highest potential, maximum potential. But B and C, you can see this line is perpendicular to electric field lines. So you will touch both of them together. So potential at B must be equal to potential at C. Similarly, tomorrow, suppose I draw electric field lines like this. Then, if I draw perpendicular lines, points here, points here, points here, points here, points here, these points will be at what potential? Same potential. Please remember this. Let us see next question now. Question number 11. What is the relation between potential at the center and potential on the surface due to a uniformly charged shell? Okay, this we have not done. Okay, students. So 11 and 12 we will not be able to do right now, because right now I have only found potential due to point charge. Due to other kind of charges we have not done. So now it is time we try to find potential due to other kind of charges also besides point charge. Okay, so we will do it now. So now students, we will be calculating potential due to different kind of charge distribution, not just point charge. Okay, so already we did for point charge, if you remember, and we got something like, E is equals to minus dV by dx, I wrote. You remember, right? Dx. So this was to find electric field if you know potential as a function of x. But now we want potential. So what formula will we use? So go back to your first part of the video. I told you potential at any point can be written as minus integral E dr from infinity to p. I know I wrote dot product, but now I will not write, because I will be taking the displacement in the direction of E. So that cos theta will be 1. So I will not include that. And the negative sign is simply there to tell you that electric field is along decreasing potential. Electric field is from higher potential to lower potential. That is the meaning of this minus sign. Again, as I told you, while doing problems, you can forget about the minus. First find the difference, then you can forget the minus, find the, using this formula, find the potential at the point, then decide whether it is positive or negative. But let us include right now minus. And you can also use potential difference formula, VB minus VA. That was from A to B EDR, right? Okay. So any one we can use. This is to find potential difference between 2 points. This is to find potential at a point where I start from infinity to P. And if you remember, this represents what? This represents work done, include the minus sign also, no problem. So this represents work done to bring unit charge. Okay, yesterday also I explained, from infinity to P against the field. That minus sign is representing that you are moving against the field actually. Okay, students? And if you remember, that is the meaning of potential. Okay, students? Fine. So once we have understood this is the formula we are going to use, let us start with the first distribution. The first distribution I will take is shell of charge. What of charge? Shell of charge. Again, all this is for entrance. So shell of charge, uniformly distributed, let us say. So this is a shell of charge. shell matlab last class also I told hollow sphere. Hollow sphere. So let's say you have a sphere and whatever charge you put will be on the outer surface. Inside there will be nothing. And the total charge is capital Q. Radius of the sphere is capital R. Now at some distance x, let us say, from the center, what was the electric field? Already we have done using Gauss law, Q by x square. Yes or no? Okay. Now, or you can make this line this way also, no problem. So let us say, let me remove this capital R. Let me write capital R this side. So capital R is the radius of the shell. So at some distance x, this is your electric field. So to find potential at some point P, what I should do? Let us say this is the point P. I want to find the potential. I will integrate E dr, okay, minus. So let me write it as R itself, okay, from infinity to that point R. And since I am taking this as R, let me write small r. So now what we have to do, we already know the formula for electric field. Yes or no, students? So we will just substitute this electric field and do the integration. That's it. If you want to write x here, the only thing is if you write here x, you have to write here dx. Okay, because if x is your distance from the center, dx will represent the small change in x. So this will be Vp will be equal to minus infinity to r. This value is how much? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square dr. Again I am telling, if you write this as x, you have to write this as dx. Otherwise you can't do integration. So constants you take outside. Minus q by 4 pi epsilon naught. What will be left? Integration of 1 by r square dr will be there. This we did last class also. It will be minus 1 by r. So check this yourself. We have already done. So integration of 1 by r square dr will be minus 1 by r. Upper limit is r, lower limit is infinity. Okay. Upper limit is r, lower limit is infinity. So substitute upper limit minus q by 4 pi epsilon naught. Put upper limit, you will get minus 1 by r. Put lower limit, what will be lower limit? Infinity. So minus 1 by infinity will be 0. So final result will be what? Minus minus will be plus. It will be q by 4 pi epsilon naught r. So this is the potential at a distance r from the center of the sphere. Okay, I hope this one no is something we have done already. That's why I'm not doing in very detailed way. And this is only for entrance. This derivation you don't have to do. So the point is, let me just explain what we have found till now. So we found that for a shell, potential at a distance r from the center of the shell, let's say at this point P, if you want to know potential, then what is the formula? Potential at a distance r from the center, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r. Now students, look carefully. Suppose on the surface, if I ask, on the surface, if I want potential on the surface, then if this P was on the surface, then what will happen? Your small r will become capital R. So potential on the surface will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught capital Q divided by R. Capital R but not small r. So small r is distance from center to the observation point. Capital R represents the radius of the shell. So on the surface of the shell, this will be the potential. Now comes a very important point. I want inside the shell. Inside the shell. Let me first tell you the easy way. Easy way of understanding also and remembering also. Look carefully. Go back and think, what was electric field inside the shell? Electric field inside the shell. Quickly. 0. So electric field inside the shell was 0. Now, just now few minutes back when we were discussing relation between electric field and potential, if electric field is zero, potential, what is electric field? Minus dv by dx na, so that should be zero. So if dv by dx is zero, what should be v? Constant. So very interesting result. Electric field is zero inside the spherical shell, but potential is constant. So at this point, center, at this point, 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 till you reach at this point here. This is also inside. It may be just touching the surface, but still inside. So everywhere potential should be constant. That means a very, very, very interesting result you see. Very, very interesting result. Potential inside a shell will be constant and it will be same as on the surface, right? Because potential everywhere should be constant. So here, till here it should be constant, but potential on the surface is this. Yes or no, students? So please remember this very interesting result. Potential inside the shell does not depend on how far you are from the center. So potential inside the shell, no matter where you are, as long as you are inside the shell, potential inside the shell will be same as potential on the surface. Okay. So this is something very important. Or let me try to tell you, sir, using integration can't we do? Yes, using integration also we can do. So look carefully. So here is your shell. So at some distance p here, I want potential. Let us say this is small r. So from center to p is smaller, I want potential here. So what I should do? I should calculate potential there by using this formula E dr from infinity to that point p, and that p is how far from the center, small r. Right? Okay. Now look carefully. As I come, or let me just write right now p only, from infinity to till this point I should come. Now look carefully. As I come from infinity to this p, first I will come from infinity to the surface, then from surface to p. That way I can write. So I can write from infinity to surface. Surface. So surface. Or let me just mark some point on the surface. Let's say S. So from infinity to p, I will divide this integration into two parts. From infinity to p, I'll write as infinity to surface. Okay. Put bracket. Plus from surface, I will come to p. This way also I can write. Yes or no? Now, what is this? This is electric field outside, because this is from infinity to surface. So from infinity to surface, outside. Outside, what is the electric field? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. Q is your source charge. This charge, capital Q. Right? S to P means where? Here to here. So from here to here, E is how much? 0. So if you, this part will become 0 now, because inside S to P there is no electric field. Understanding? Now when you do this integration, you have to put the limits of this R now. So this is infinity and this is up to surface, means what will you write? For this point, what is distance from the center? For this S, distance from the center is capital R, so you will put here capital R. So if you solve this part, which I will not do, you will again get this answer only. Understanding? So no matter which point you do, potential will be this. So to put all this in a short form, because derivations and all I know we don't need to know for entrance preparation, but you must remember these important points which I will be saying to you now. Look carefully. If I give you a shell of charge, what of charge? Shell of charge. Shell of charge. Then at a distance small r from the center, shell of charge at a distance small r from the center, potential will be outside, will be q by 4 pi epsilon naught small r. If I ask on the surface, your small r will become capital R. So on the surface, if I ask, potential will be q by 4 pi epsilon naught capital R. This, if you remember, is same as point charge formula. Remember, right? Okay. Then if I ask inside, at a distance small r, inside, then don't do the mistake of writing q by 4 pi epsilon naught. This small r don't write, then you are gone. Because potential inside, I have told you just now, will be constant, not zero. Electric field is zero, not potential. Electric field is rate of change of potential, minus. So if this is zero, this should be constant from mathematics. If my height is constant, then my rate of change of height will be zero. Rate of change of height. My height is not changing. So everywhere inside electric field is zero, but potential everywhere inside will be constant and it will be same as this surface, which is capital R. So be careful very much, students. So if you have understood the derivation, very good. If you have not, remember this result. Very, very important. Okay. So if I say there is a shell, let us do one problem also. Okay, I take one radius is, let's say, 2 meter. I take 2 points A and B. A and B. A is 0.4 meter, B is 0.8 meter from the center. That means both are where? Inside. So if I ask what would be potential difference between A and B, since both are inside, potential will be same as on the surface. So this will be also same as this because both are inside, so potential everywhere will be constant. So these two will be same, difference will be what? Zero. Okay, so keep in mind, don't forget, make a note of this very nicely. Now let us see how to find potential due to a uniformly charged solid sphere, not hollow sphere, which is shell, solid sphere. So potential due to solid sphere of charge. So what you should now think is, I don't have a sphere where charge is only on the outside. Now you think you have a sphere and charge is everywhere inside also, like this. Now at a distance r, if you remember electric field here, this we did in the entrance part. Draw a Gaussian surface, calculate the flux, all those things we have done. Electric field outside, if you remember, will be same like for shell outside. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. Now since electric field is same as shell, potential outside will be also same as shell. So no need to do again integration. You will get 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r. Okay, so outside is not a problem. Outside is not a problem. It will just follow whatever we did for shell. Inside, it will be very interesting. So this part you write nicely first. Okay. Now we will ask potential at some point which is at a distance small r. Okay, at some point P, which is inside. So now I am talking about distance from the center is less than the radius. Capital R is the radius. Okay, students? Fine. So now we will discuss for potential inside. Now, will this potential inside be constant like in the case of shell? No, because now electric field inside is not zero. So go back and try to think what was electric field at a distance small r inside. So inside the sphere, electric field formula, if you remember, okay, I will not derive again, it was rho r by 3 epsilon naught. So this was a very easy way to remember, I told. That's why I write in terms of rho. What is rho? Volume charge density. Volume charge density. So in terms of total charge, if you want to write, how can you write density? total charge is Q, total volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube. 4 by 3 pi r cube. So substitute this here, what will you get? Q by 4 by 3 pi r cube, small r, 3 epsilon naught. So 3 will cancel, it will be Q r by 4 pi epsilon naught r cube. So this is the electric field inside. Okay. So let me mention it somewhere here. Electric field inside is Q r by 4 pi epsilon naught capital R cube. Again, again it is outside. Sorry. So students, try to remember what is the difference. Capital Q is what? Total charge of the sphere. Small r is distance from the center. And capital R is the radius of the sphere. This we have done, students, already using Gauss law. If you remember, we made a Gauss law here. Then we calculated the flux. Flux was, if you remember, E into area of the Gaussian surface, which will be 4 pi r square. Then that will be equal to charge inside divided by epsilon naught. Charge inside was density into volume inside. Volume inside will be 4 by 3 pi small r cube. Yes or no? Then if you see 4 pi will cancel, r square r cube will cancel, you will get rho r by 3 epsilon naught. See, so fast I have derived. So using Gauss law, we have already done the derivation. Please remember. Okay. So we have now come to know that this is the electric field inside. It is no longer zero. So now I want potential at this point P. We will use the formula for in terms of electric field. What was the formula? Minus integral of E dr from infinity to that point P. Now let us put limits properly. Look carefully. First I will come from infinity till I touch the surface. So when I touch the surface, my small r, which is variable, will be how much? When I touch the surface, small r will become capital R. So from infinity to capital R first I will come. Okay, then I will come from, this is minus, this will be minus, right? Or you take minus common, plus from surface I will come to this point. So from surface, if I come to this point, when I am on surface, my small r is capital R, and then when I reach this point, my small r will be this small r itself. So E into dr. Everybody understood? So infinity to r means from here to here, you are outside. From capital R to small r means you are inside. Now this is electric field inside, this is electric field outside. Before this was zero in the case of shell. Now you cannot say it is zero. So let us calculate potential at point P. So minus this is infinity to R. What was electric field outside? Formula outside it was 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught capital Q by distance from the center, which is small r dr. No, this is outside, plus capital R to small r. Inside, what is the formula? This is the formula. Q r by 4 pi epsilon naught r cube dr. Okay. So this integration we will do it now. Now we don't need this diagram. So look carefully. So potential at P will be equals to, it's not visible, right? So potential at P will be equals to, this part if you remember we have done already. This part was, if you remember, it was minus Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R. Okay, you please do the integration yourself. This part we have done. This part will be more interesting. So let me remove this part. So let us do this integration. This minus is here. Okay. When you do this integration, one minus sign will come. Okay. I hope you remember. With integration of 1 by r squared dr will be minus 1 by r. Then put upper limit capital R. So you'll get minus 1 by capital R. Because after putting the upper limit, you will get capital R. Right. Here let us do the integration. So this is plus constants you take outside. Q by 4 pi epsilon naught r cube. What is left? Integral of r dr. Integral of r dr. what is integral of x dx? X square by 2. So integral of small r dr will be r square by 2. So you will get r square by 2. Put limits also. Limits are small r and capital R. Okay. So let us see what we will get. Potential at point P will be minus q by 4 pi epsilon naught r. Or let us remove this minus sign. Okay. So what we will do, we will multiply. Minus minus will be plus q by 4 pi epsilon naught r. Minus plus is minus q by 4 pi epsilon naught r cube. And here we will put upper limit r square by 2 minus put lower limit r square by 2. Okay. Then let us open this bracket also. Don't worry, at the end I will try to make you understand everything, the formulas, easy way to remember. So this is capital R, minus plus is minus q r squared by 8 pi epsilon naught r cube. 8 because 4 2s will be 8, and here will be minus minus will be plus q by 4 2s are again 8 pi epsilon naught r square in the numerator, r cube in the denominator. If you multiply, you will get 1 r. Right, students? Okay. Now look carefully. Here 1 by 4, here 1 by 8. So what will be 1 by 4 plus 1 by 8? So it will be 8, 4 2s are 8 1. So it will be 3 by 8. So if you further simplify, potential at point P will be 1 by 4 plus 1 by 8 will be 8 LCM, 4 2s are 8. So 3 by 8, 3 by 8 q by pi epsilon naught r minus q r squared by 8 pi epsilon naught r. So finally, okay, so this and this I have added, I got this. Finally, look here, what I will do is, I will take some common so that the formula looks little better. So let me take potential at point P, which is inside, okay. Common things are what? Capital Q is common. 8 pi epsilon naught r is also common. So here 3 will be left. Here small r and 1 capital R. Right, students? No, r square, capital R square. Isn't it? Check carefully. So I took q by 8 pi epsilon naught r common. 3 here and here 8. I took q common, 8 pi epsilon naught r. 1 r also I took common. So r square by r square. So this is the formula for potential at point P inside. So from here, some few things we will do. Look carefully. At the surface, if I ask, at the surface. So again, don't forget what is the meaning of small r and capital R. Small r is a variable from which represents distance from center to the point where you want potential. Capital R represents the radius of the sphere. Okay, this time there is charge everywhere inside also, uniformly. So look carefully now. If I want potential at this point on the surface, then your small r will become capital R. So what will be the formula on the surface? It will be q divided by 8 pi epsilon naught r. 3 minus small r will be what on the surface? Capital R. If this P was on the surface, small r will be capital R. No, so substitute capital R here. So r square by r square 1, 3 minus 1, 2. That 2 and this 8 will cancel. You will get q by 4 pi epsilon naught r, which is very nice. Nice to see, happy to see, because this is the formula for on the surface we have done already. Right, students? Okay. Then at the center, if I ask, potential at the center. So at the center of the sphere, what will be your small r? If this P was on the center, what will be small r? This is small r, no? So if this P slowly comes at the center, your small r will be 0. So if small r is 0, what will be the potential at the center? This is 0, so this part will go, so it will become 3 q by 8 pi epsilon naught r. Can I write this formula in terms of uh, potential of the surface? Look carefully. Let me write 3 by 8 as 3 by 2 into remaining part will be what? Q by 4 pi epsilon naught r. What is this? Potential on the surface. So very interesting result. Potential at the center is 3 by 2 times potential on the surface. Say it 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Okay. So now if you look at your entrance corner, question number 11. What is the relation between potential at the center and potential on the surface due to a uniformly charged spherical shell? Acha, question number 111 is for shell of charge. So for shell of charge, you know potential at the center should be same as potential on the surface. Yes or no? Because inside the shell, electric field is 0. So potential should be constant inside. So everywhere potential inside should be same as on the surface. So this is the answer for question number 11, which is option A. Interesting is question number 12. Question number 12 you see answer. Okay. So in question number 12 they are saying what is the same question, but listen carefully. What is the relation between potential at the center and potential on the surface due to a uniformly charged solid non-conducting sphere? Solid sphere they are saying. Solid matlab inside also there is charge. Okay, uniformly charged solid sphere. Non-conducting word they are using so that if it is conductor, na, charge will stay on the outer surface. So it will be like shell of charge only. That's why they are saying non-conducting. But forget about that non-conducting. Right now you just think if it is a solid sphere, then the potential at the center is how many times on the surface? Already I proved 3 by 2 times potential on the surface. Which is the right option? Option C. So this completes our entrance corner. Now, for this entrance corner, for these last two questions, you may think, sir, that much we have done. In exam, will we get time? Array, you are not going to do the derivation and then get the result. You are trying to remember the results. And I am doing the derivation so that even if it is not important for board exams, you should know how it comes, ma. Then only it will help you to remember. Okay. So keep all these things in mind. Next class, I will revise these few things. I will revise the important formulas and we will draw some graphs for this potential and distance from the center. Okay, see you next class.